Mic check 212. Mic check 212. Let me see if this works. Give me a second. Alright, mic check. There we go. We are good. Alright. Let me go ahead and get this full screen up. What the heck? Oh, alright. Grand Rising, everybody. It's your boy ABK, and thank you for checking out another one of my weekly forex and, well, it's not weekly, my intraday / day trade setups. So let's go ahead and see what we got in the market. So first things first, US dollar definitely faked out those who were buying over here from this low to this high. But as I had mentioned in my weekly analysis, I was saying that I'm still watching to see what price does in this demand zone, because this is what I was watching for when price had originally came up here. So now that prices came down over here, still going to be watching this as an interesting area. But I mean, if you go onto the 4-hour time frame, and you kind of look at structure, it looks like this, because this is what I would consider this to be the higher low of this bullish move. It's been broken right here, right? But again, this is coming down into this fib zone, supply zone, if you will, because that's what supply did kick in. I mean demand zone, because that's what demand did kick in right here. That it is at a place where it could go potentially turn around still. You know, I'm not still so much bearish on the DXY. Still, like, and again, on the daily time frame, we still have the 50 EMA is still above. I mean, price is still above the 50 EMA on the daily and the weekly. The weekly very much more so than the daily. Daily candlesticks, though, are not in favor of anybody trying to buy. The way how the daily is looking so far is not looking like, oh, this is something that you want to try to get into. If anything, this is what I'd be now looking for on the DXY. So let me go ahead and hide this. Wherever price is looking to stop at, when again, it all depends on how price is getting up there. But this is a counter. If you're trying to sell, you are still counter trading the DXY. Like, that's just what it is. If you try to like with this retracement, if it does happen and you sell from here, that is a counter trend trade. But it doesn't look that bad. Only thing I'm saying is that this demand zone, I wouldn't necessarily, I wouldn't try to sell for. I wouldn't try to, like, I think until this breaks to the downside, that's when I'll start to be bearish on the DXY. But I'm still not necessarily bearish on it yet. Like, I don't know. That's just how I'm seeing it. It didn't drop down here that fast. It did a B, C correction. Like, it could continue going bullish. It really could, but we'll see what happens here. Again, this is an area of interest. I'm gonna go ahead and mark it off so I can delete the fib. This is an area that is like, I'm like, okay, if this price gets hit, if like, let's say that price just bounced off from here and it goes up to this upside, depending how fast it gets up there and what the price action is going to be looking like, I might be looking for sales here, but I'm not quite there for the sales quite yet on the DXY. So I'm still gonna have that marked off. I'm gonna go ahead and bring this fib back, because again, this is something that I've been talking about and I've been watching for. Like, I should have known better rather than to try to get into this retracement than just to wait for this one right here to when it really decided to go bullish and break these highs. But hey, it is what it is. Like I said, when it came to EU, I had gotten out of the sell and I said I was still waiting to see if I wanted to get in. and thankfully I didn't because that thing turned around. So DXY 4-hour time frame, pretty much bearish, rejected off of the RSI line, dropped to the downside. Yeah, daily time frame is bouncing off of the upper danger zone, so it's still whatever to me. 1 hour time frame, definitely not trying to set up for anything. So yeah, right now DXY, like I said, basically, I mean, the 15-minute right here is setting up, so that's something to watch out for arbitrage users. But, and I mean, again, it kind of looks good because it's broken through the structure that it was struggling to break through before, and then also came and retested off of. So that could be one thing, but I'm still not quite bearish on the DXY yet. But let me see something real quick. Yeah, I'm gonna have to still be patient and wait. I mean, obviously, if you draw a trend line, you'd be like, oh, well, the trend got broken just right now. So it's kind of like, if a wick gets left there, then it's like, okay, that's definitely not a trend broken. But again, I'm not quite bearish there yet. But like I said, the daily time frame, the way how it looks, I wouldn't try to get into a buy automatically. Like, I'm still having my alert set down over here at 93.442, as I usually have it at the 71% fib. That's the fib I like buying or selling off of. Oh, what am I doing? So, still gonna be watching for that. Like, I mean, I got into a GU sell yesterday, and that thing took off. And again, I mean, even right here, I was saying that this looks more bullish to me than anything. So, like, the retracement and the continuation, that's why I never got back into the sell. But if you did take it, then hey, that loss is on me, all on me. I'll take that loss for you. Like, morally, at least, not financially. All right, so gonna go ahead and still look out for this, because I mean, at the end of the day, this was definitely looking kind of, I mean, no, not really. It was not looking like a falling wedge. I cannot say that. But ultimately, price did end up falling, tracing, falling again, consolidating, basically breaking out to the upside. I would love to see, excuse me, just like with the DXY, I would love to see a retracement and then a continuation to the upside on EU, the way how prices played out. So again, this is still wherever price stops at. I'm just drawing this out right here because that's where price is currently at, but I'm not saying that that's where it's going to stop at. But wherever price really stops at, that's where I'll probably look for a retracement to see if I would want to try to get into a counter trend trade. Because again, on the DXY, on Euro USD, let's just go into the daily time frame. This is very much bearish, but the bullish move that's happening in the daily time frame, the way how the candlesticks are showing up, do not look like they necessarily wants to sell, right? However, and again, I'm just going to do it on the flip side, just like how I did with the DXY. The daily time frame is still under the 50 EMA. The 50 EMA is right in this fib zone, so that's number one, from when price had consolidated and dropped. So, and I feel like price has been making lower highs, lower lows. This is not broken. I mean, unless you want to consider this to be the lower high, this lower high right here still hasn't been broken. So daily wise, like I said, I'm still not crazy over trying to get into the market on these USD pairs. So not too crazy getting into the market with these Euro USD pairs. Still, like, I mean, yeah, I'd rather see what's gonna happen at 1.16883. I think I did I say something like that? Because I was looking for buys over there. Price never got down there. That was the short that I said I wasn't gonna play. And that's the setup that I have. I'll still take responsibility for that. The buy move. What do I have all down here? I have some stuff to delete. But anyways, yeah, I'm still watching to see what price is gonna do up here. No cap at 1.16883. So I'm gonna draw this out. And overall, let's just say that price is going to like continue going bullish for a little bit. I wouldn't mind seeing a retracement from this peak high to back up to these highs. I wouldn't mind seeing that on the daily time frame, because again, on the daily time frame, even if price did come up to 1.800, it still is making higher highs and higher lows. Like, so that's why I'm just like, hey, let's see what price is going to do. But as for me, I'm not too crazy over Euro USD buying. If I were to buy, it would be a counter trend trade, basically. So see what happens. 15-minute time frame, setting up for potential sell, but that's for arbitrage users who have arbitrage. 1 hour time frame, very much bullish, but it's rejecting off of the third deviation. Man, this 4 hour play actually, this 4 hour buy actually did play out. Rejected off of that. Continuation to the upside, that's fine. And the Euro USD is also rejecting off of the lower danger zone, inverse to what the DXY was doing. So again, definitely gonna be watching out for any potential sells at 1.1700 basic, like 1.16895 is what I have, but 1.1700 isn't terrible either. So we'll see what happens there. I'm gonna go over to AUD USD. So this head and shoulders never played out, which I'm still happy that I never tried to get in it. So the swing, damn, I forgot to send the link out. Hold on, give me a second. Give me uno momento. I played myself right there. So yeah, AUD USD still going bullish, still going strong with the bull move. That's why I'm saying, like, right here, I was like, it's iffy. I would only really try to sell it if I saw good price action, and definitely there was no good price action to even try to play off of here. So I was like, no, I'm not gonna get into this. It just looks like it's gonna keep going bullish, which it is. So where is it? Right here. Still have this run in. Still watching to see. No, that's not what I was looking for. Nope. Okay. Still watching to see what AUD USD is gonna do at these equal highs. It's gonna be interesting to see if it's just going to grab some liquidity and then drop type of thing, or if it is going to come up to these highs like I had wanted to see. But again, AUD USD is not looking the best. I would rather just stay in the swing sell that I'm in. I mean the swing buy that I'm in, and and see how things play out. It is, yes, it is in this fib zone from this high to this low. Then going to the daily time frame, so that's much better. It's much easier to see that. So yeah, from this high where price had left this wick and dropped, then I mean price is in that fib zone. So this is again another area that you can be mindful of and watching. But I just feel like AUD USD is most likely just going to keep going bullish, quite honestly. So I would leave that alone personally, but I'm still going to draw this out. Actually, I'm going to leave it like that. And then I'm just going to have that pop up. I'm just gonna leave this here for now, because again, what happens if price does like actually like leave a big wick here or something like that, or decides to drop and show some good price action, and I get other confirmations telling me that it's gonna sell, then I will sell here. But again, the price could just easily come up to the 78.6, which I would just say 0.7500, and then end up falling. So again, there's a lot of different things that are going on that AUD USD can play out with, but as for now, staying in the buy, if you would have gone into the swing buy down here, would be the best play. USHEF. All right, USHEF. I mean, nothing's really changed here. I was saying that, hey, maybe this is gonna play out right here, but once I saw price give me that alert, I was not interested. It was just, it kept falling. I'm like, I'm not interested. And so I'm cool off of that. But, and I'm gonna place this over here. Supply zone hit pretty nicely. I didn't even notice that the price fell. So 4-hour time frame on AUD USD. I don't need it. From these lows, from the lows of 0.9100 to the highs of 0.93690. Again, the price is still. It looks like this is going off on a pretty decent sell from this high of 0.94725 to 0.89220. So that's something that is. I can't stop looking at that. I can't stop paying attention to it and saying that, hey, that can be valid, and USHEF can go and start making lower lows. Although it has broken some pretty decent structure for me to say that, oh, I use a lot of fibs to say that, oh, price could definitely possibly go bullish. You know, it's like from after it made this low move right here, went bullish, retrace, went to the upside. So it's kind of like, I don't know. I'm still bullish on USHEF. I feel like if price really does break below these lows, that's when I'll start to be like, okay, yes, this sell indeed is gonna play out, or something like that. So I mean, I'm just gonna be watching what 0.91780 is gonna be looking like, because again, this doesn't look terrible. This does not look bad for like the retracement for another push to the upside. But it all depends on what the price action and what the DXY is gonna be providing. Because if the DXY goes bearish, there's no way I'm gonna be looking to buy this. But I don't know. It doesn't look terrible. Candlesticks are, the daily time frame, these past 3 days, they are definitely not in our favor to try to get into any type of buys. So you just want to watch out for that. Week's not over though. There still is definitely today and 3 more days. So that's something I'm watching out for as well. USD Mexican, I don't think my analysis has really changed. Oh wait, hold on. Before I go to the USD Mexican, sorry. I'm going over to arbitrage. Ooh, I don't like seeing that. I don't like seeing that for potential buy. arbitrage is probably I mean we had 2 rejections on the RSI line and up over here. If I was paying attention to that, I would have probably definitely gone into that sell. I'm not gonna lie to anybody. 4-hour time frame, call for the sell, retraced, rejected. Ooh, yeah, I would have probably gone into that sell on the daily. So that's something to watch out for sure. Arbitrage is very much bearish on USHEF, but on the weekly time frame, of course, it's still calling for that buy, and it is coming up to this, RSI line on the weekly, like I had mentioned. I wanted to see it do, and it was lining up pretty nicely with this buy box down here. So yeah, definitely watching that and looking for buys here. I might even set a sell limit. I mean a buy limit there, to be quite honest. USD Mexican, as I said, nothing's really changed for me. I'd want to see 20.21800 before I look to see if I want to actually get into a buy on USD Mexican. I'm not really, I mean, I'm kind of surprised that price moves like this. And dang, this is why I like USD Mexican, because when it moves, it'd be moving a decent amount. But yeah, down over here, that's what I would want to see. Like, nothing's really changed for me on USD Mexican. Yeah, same thing. Retracement continues to the upside. That's what I would want to see. Daily time frame still bullish. 4-hour time frame on RB, rejecting off of that second deviation, but I would love for it to drop a little lower than that. And the 1 hour called for the sell about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 hours ago. 7 to 8 hours ago. So yeah, USD Mexican, let it keep falling. All right, gold. So I had talked about gold on the next wave group chat. I was like, oh, looks like gold is doing head and shoulders type of move, or inverse head and shoulders type of move. It ended up playing out. If you draw the fib from the low to the high right here, could have seen that would have been your entry right at the right shoulder. So there's that. Overall, I mean, again, it's kind of hard for me. It's kind of hard for me to see this play out on gold, and for me to say that, oh, this is gonna end up going bearish. Like, I would have loved 1800, but I don't know if I'm gonna necessarily get that pricing. But I do see gold at least going up to at least 1785. I do want to see gold come up to like 1785 or 1788 for continuation to the downside for the sell. And if it doesn't happen, it's all good. I do have to also note that there is this little zone right here, right? If I draw it out, if I drag it out to the left, and we can see how much more pricing has interacted with this zone in the past. So definitely still have to watch out for that. But again, with gold at this point, I kind of want to see something like this play out. But again, if price does end up getting up there, I'd have to observe it and really see that if that's in my best interest to try to sell it up there. Because I mean, again, I can't ignore that price really did dodge 1800 like that and fell like how it did on last week. So I've been pretty bearish. I mean, overall, I've been bearish on gold since it's been like right over here, retracing all that stuff. Still a little suspect about this liquidity down here, and like, not gonna lie, still tripping over that. So definitely, I'm still not that bearish on gold overall. Definitely like how this move played out though. Like, so let's say if price doesn't even get up here and it does something like this, where it did this bullish move, retraces it, and then goes bullish, I'd probably try to get into the buy rather than the sell. But as of right now, I'd rather wait and see what gold is gonna do up here at like 1788. That's honestly what I would want to see. So I'm gonna set an alert here, and then we'll see what goes on from there. Did get the gold buy on arbitrage. I mean, the only other way that I would try to get into a buy again is if this does the retracement and then continues to the upside. Which, if I draw the fib from this, I'm just gonna draw from the fib from this the super low, which it lines up pretty nicely. And even if I did it from where price actually went bullish, then it would still line up pretty nicely in that fib. So that's what this is what I would have to see in order for me to get into a gold buy, for it to just drop down at this point. Well, not drop down hard. Like, I would just say, like, slowly flow down there. Then I'll try to get into a buy or something like that. The 4-hour time frame, it's above the RSI line, so that's something to watch out for. And the daily time frame is above the RSI line as well, but that's not something that would be like, again, I'm not gonna just be like, oh, let's go ahead and get into a buy. Not yet. Gotta still wait for some retracements or one of these two to happen. But right now, I'm feeling the sell on gold more than buys. S&P taking off. Enough said. Like, I'm not really gonna talk much about that. And arbitrage, I'm pretty sure everything is bullish except for the daily time frame. 4-hour bullish, 1-hour bullish, yep. Dow Jones taking off, enough said. That's why I said I'm not gonna try to sell in this, because this thing just looks like it's gonna go and make higher highs. So those were good plays on US 30 last week. Bitty Bitcoin up at 62,259. Man, that's wild to me. I love to see it. I'm not crazy over the consolidation that I'm seeing up at these highs, but based off of these daily time frame candlesticks, it looks like price is probably gonna make all-time highs very shortly. So again, I would stay away from I wouldn't necessarily buy these on an exchange, maybe off of a buy stop, maybe, if you would want to try to be like, oh, get a buy stop above these highs to take it to all-time highs. That might be the best play, honestly speaking, for Bitcoin if you're trying to really get into this. But you got to be careful for that stop hunt. But this might not be a bad play. Put it up under these lows and take it to the upside and take it to wherever you want to take it to, man. I mean, 72K doesn't look terrible. I mean, hold on, let me just see real quick. Where if it does continue going bullish, I gotta hide all of that, leaving that supply zone there. Dang, price never came back down there to that 36K. I mean, honestly speaking, this definitely dropped way faster than previous. And I want to see what these extensions were looking like back then. $28K off of that. I mean, for me to give you a target, it'd be kind of unrealistic, no cap, unless it's kind of like, oh, well, how about from one price, from this 17K range, or from right here? I mean, like, again, I could falsify a fib like this. I mean, it's not falsified. I mean, if you wanted a weekly time frame, then you would see that, okay, price was struggling over here at these points and then ended up going bullish. I mean, I can't do that, but it's just, I mean, the targets would be 83K and 100K basically, so I could see that definitely being some kind of play. Or let me just go over here where, you know, from where price broke these highs, like where the actual bullish move came from. Like I could say, yeah, 95k or something like that. It could be possibilities. So again, if you are looking for this bullish move and you trying to catch the buy, like I would rather you place a buy stop than try to just buy it anywhere in between here. So, and even this buy stop, it looks kind of risky, but the 4 hour, the way how it's handling right here, it looks like this is going to take off, in my opinion. Payton had said that, oh, he's probably seeing either all-time highs to get hit sometime this week, and I agree with that, but yeah, not necessarily. This wick is capped, this wick is a lie, but if you just look at this play right here, from this low to this high, price came to the 71%, bounced off of it nicely, came up to the equal highs, expected to keep going bullish, quite honestly. And so, like I said, place that buy stop. That buy stop is probably the best bet. I mean, you can even have your stop loss lower than what I had it at, and put like right at like 60,555. But I mean, I feel like it's safer down here below 60k. So, and you know, the risk reward isn't that terrible either. And again, if price is gonna really go and make those all-time highs at those projections that I had at 85k, I mean, like, yeah, at 85k, 95k, then that's not terrible. That's not a terrible place to target at and hold those trades. Because again, just going off of from where was it? I think it was over here. From where the bullish move really took off, where price broke through the all-time highs, the previous all-time highs. Again, 83k, 95k, doesn't look bad. So we'll see what happens there. Oh, and going to arbitrage. 1 hour time frame, just rejecting heavy on the RSI line. Kind of looks like it wants to set up for a sell, but I'm not here for it really. Well, what am I doing? Hold on. 4 hour time frame. I was saying that, oh, if price ends up breaking through this, that'd be the only way that I would really try to get into a sell. Has not happened. Daily time frame, it looks like it's overextended, but that doesn't mean anything to Bitcoin or cryptos in general. And the weekly time frame is finally about to call for a buy, but it has 5 days and 13 hours left until it closes. So we'll see what happens with Bitcoin. That buy stop doesn't look great too bad though. Ripple is definitely hella underperforming as usual. I feel like Ripple always underperforms, but then when all the other cryptos are like bullish, it's like, okay, now I'm gonna go crazy bullish. So let me get rid of this fib right here. And I mean, at this point in time, I just gotta be patient with Ripple because it's not really doing anything except for consolidating. But if it does end up going bullish just like the other cryptos, I mean, and making more, like, I'll say all year highs, like surpassing this $1.96. I mean, it's very much possible, but it's just, like I said, it's just doing absolutely nothing right now. And you would think that with the Bitcoin dominance and Ethereum dominance, which is Bitcoin dominance is at 46% and Ethereum dominance is at 18% basically, that this might be taking off, but who knows? We'll see. But as of right now, Ripple is just, like I said, consolidating. It's not really doing anything. I would assume that this wick is capped. Let me see on a different exchange. Oh no, that wick is looking all too real. Yeah, okay, never mind. It's not capped, it is real. So let me see now if this wick, I have my doubts with this wick over here. Sorry guys, yeah, the wick for Bitcoin was definitely capped, but not for Ripple. One thing that I definitely do want to point out though, is that if I were to try to get into a Ripple buy, no cap, I would really want it to come back. I would really want it to come down. Oh man, that wick came very close, but I would have wanted to come down to $1 or maybe even 98 cents, and then that's when I would look to buy it. And even off of an exchange, quite honestly, like that wouldn't be a bad idea. So, because I mean, just think of it this way: if you buy at $1 or 98 cents, and then price does end up dropping to 50 cents or 45 cents or any of those lows, you would only be down half of whatever you invested if your daily cost averaging, right? So it's not necessarily a bad move. You know, I mean, again, Ripple has never called for an exit on arbitrage on the weekly time frame. Neither has Ethereum. It's only Bitcoin that has, and Bitcoin's about to call for another buy. So it's, I don't know. I might actually consider doing that if price gets down to $1.98. Let me see what RE has over here. Daily time frame just wicked off of that daily RSI line. I mean, the bulls, man. The bulls look tempting. 4-hour time frame currently rejecting off of the lower danger zone. 1 hour time frame is setting up for a buy opportunity. I mean, I might get into this buy right here. This buy doesn't look terrible. And again, if Bitcoin is really gonna go bullish like how I think it is and make all-time highs, then again, getting into this buy on Ripple, it's not such a bad idea. I put my stop loss down there, and then I'd probably take a trade like this off of Ripple. And again, I highly suggest not risking a lot of money on margin. Like, just risk 1%, like the same 1% or whatever you would usually risk. Same thing with Ethereum, man. Ethereum, it's holding at the supply zone, but it just looks like to me it's about to take off. Probably gonna make all-time highs. So if you were to try to get into this type of move, I would suggest trying to get into the buy stop and not trying to get in now. Ooh, that is way too low. Put your stops below those lows and take price up to all-time highs. I mean, and the next target, realistically, that you could look for, I mean, just off of like my analysis that I did in May, I said, hey, I think it was like the second analysis that I did in May, but I said, hey, 1,741, 1,352, and 1,027. Those all look like pretty solid targets to try to go for a potential buy. If you had $3,000, shave them up $1,000, take your shot. I mean, it bounced off the 61.8 really 3 times, like really nicely, then bounced. So I mean, 7K, 6K, like they look very much realistic. So buy stop it, and if you do get into the buy stop, jaw speed. That doesn't look like it's not realistic to me. But again, I would only play this as a buy stop at this point. I wouldn't necessarily try to get in a buy at these highs, unless I get into the buy stop, and then from that buy stop, I'm like, well, my stop loss is below these lows. Maybe even have it a little lower, and then boom, you still have a good 1 to 3.62 risk to reward ratio. I don't know why that's still doing all these, because again, these buy stops, tempting indeed. All right. GBPUSD, I had gone into a GU sell yesterday on arbitrage. This was the trade. By the time the exit came out, then I was already out the trade. But man, it looked good at the moment. It really did look good at the moment. I should have just stayed away though, because the GEPs are going crazy right now. Very big daily bullish move. I was thinking that price was going to bounce off of this 71%. That's even more of the reason why I got into the sell, because I was like, okay, that bounced off of there. Price is at the 61.8. Doesn't look terrible. but the 50 EMA price was above the 50 EMA, so that's something I should have watched out for. But I mean, overall with GU, I mean, I'm just gonna have to wait for it, see what it does at this point. The bulls are definitely in full control on the GBPs. I mean, if I go over here, I'm pretty sure 1 hour through daily is bullish. Yeah, 4 hour called for the buy right here on October 13th. Daily time frame, they didn't even call for the buy. Wow, but still, I wouldn't even try to get into any of this over here. And the weekly time frame is coming up to that RSI line. If you were in this swing trade, if you are still in this swing trade, because I definitely got out like weeks ago, that looks like it's about to, stop losses might get hit at break even, but who knows? Still hold that, honestly, because you've already taken partial profits and made money off the play, so why not just hold it? GBP-AUD, it's kind of in a consolidating type of phase because GBPs are bullish while the AUDs, AUD is bullish as well. So it's kind of weird, but I had this marked up and it looks like that's exactly what's going to play out. If I were to take from this high, it would have almost stopped out people, but I mean, it looks like it's going to keep going bullish to me, but it all depends on what AUD USD is going to do. Not necessarily crazy over trying to buy GA, to be quite honest right now, but at the same time, again, it is in a swing area, as I mentioned on the weekly analysis. So if you are looking for swing buys on GA, you can. It's definitely still at that area, still holding there very nicely. Bounced off the 78.6 twice, even went a little lower than it, but yeah, it still looks like a good possibility to go bullish. Morning star candlestick pattern, that's what it looks like. It's pretty hot right there. Still has an hour and 10 minutes before the candle closes on the 4 hour time frame, so definitely want to keep that. GBP-AUD daily time frame called for the sell, price ended up hitting the second deviation. 4 hour time frame, price called for a buy. I remember that I said I might get into this, and I never did, but I'm glad I didn't. But the way how this looks, it still never called for the sell, and price does look like it wants to close above the RSI line. So if it does, again, I might get into the buy for a swing. Not too sure yet, but the 1 hour time frame is definitely called for the sell, retesting the RSI line, but it doesn't look like, I feel like this is just gonna personally go bullish, but we'll see what happens with GA. GBP-JPY, again, I'm glad I never touched it because the thing is just going bonkers. I'm gonna wait and be patient until it slows down before I even try to trade it or anything like that. Buy stops would have been nice right there, but yeah, GJ, I'm good off of you. And your GBP, I wouldn't try to trade it necessarily. It looks like this is just gonna keep falling. You could look at it like, oh, well, it's doing this. It's rejected off of the 78.6 right now. You could try it. Why not? But again, this just looks like it's going to fall. I mean, from the highs right here, from the highs of 0.84866 to the lows of 0.84207, a double top off of the 61.8. Nah, I wouldn't try to trade that. But we'll see what happens with EG again. It could possibly go bullish here, but I wouldn't count on it. I would personally just wait on it. So with that being said, are there any questions? Does anybody want me to go over any trades or anything like that? Do you want me to look at any pairs of any sort? Or if I'm good to go, then let me know. DXY doing. I'm not caring for that. All right, well, if that's the case, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and step up out of here. Thank you for checking out my analysis. Don't forget to like if you gain some value. Don't forget to subscribe to the next wave, and I'll catch y'all later.